Ayurveda has a unique approach to break down tastes scientifically, each having its own therapeutic effects and changing impacts on your body, from the first taste to entering the body to being absorbed. The 6 tastes or rasas that are distinguished in the Ayurvedic diet are sweet, salty, sour, pungent, astringent, and bitter. These tastes originate from the 5 elements and transmit their properties. For a balanced diet, Ayurveda recommends getting all of these flavors with every meal and adjust the amounts of each to your personal constitution. Apart from feeling satisfied, this practice also ensures that all major food groups and nutrients are present. This table provides an overview over the effects of the different tastes, the upper row naming the positive effects of the taste, the row below naming the effects when taste is consumed in excess. Pure forms of the tastes will aggravate your dosha more easily than complex versions and thus should be used with care. For example, yogurt is sour, sweet and heavy, which makes it a complex taste and will less likely aggravate the kapha dosha than pure sugar.
There are many foods that we can use to help detoxify our body. In Ayurveda, we actually think of the foods in reference to 6 unique different tastes. There are 6 tastes in nature. The first taste is bitter taste, bitter roots, bitter vegetables, very powerful detoxers. These tastes alkalize the body. When the body's more alkaline, the lymph system can drain. These tastes, the bitter tastes, are what we lack in our diet. And the more we can eat of these, the better we're going to detox. Pungent taste, ginger root tea, radishes, spicy foods, these are the tastes that actually stimulate circulation to help detoxify the body. These tastes, astringent taste, we've all heard of the benefits of pomegranates. Pomegranates are great blood purifiers, great detoxifiers. So if we were going to be involved in a detoxification program, it's these 3 tastes we want to eat more of: bitter, pungent, and astringent. The problem is that we crave these other 3 tastes, our comfort foods, foods that make us relax, calm us down. We're also stressed out. We want sweet tastes. Milk is a sweet taste. Breads and pasta, rice, butter, honey, these are all sweet tastes. Sour tastes like cheese are calming for the nervous system. And salt, although we know that salt may be bad for you in excess, it was never recommended to eat excessive amounts of salt or sour or sweet foods. If you go to a fast food restaurant, though, those foods are designed to calm the nervous system down. Milkshakes are sweet, salty French fries, sour pickles on your burgers. These are the tastes that we crave because we need to be calmed down. The problem is, we eat them in excess. Those heavy calming foods make the body heavy, therefore congested. And if we don't provide these foods, the bitter, pungent, and astringent foods, we don't detoxify the body. We become complacent, heavy, and toxic. So in Ayurveda, we're talking about eating all of these foods, all 6 tastes in every meal. Let's see if we can design a meal for detox. The best thing I would suggest are bitters. I love bitters. Bitters as much as you can eat. A great breakfast, one of my favorite breakfasts, grapefruit and honey. Perfect food to start the day detoxing. We also need more of these bitter foods. Radishes, pepper. Add some pepper and radishes to these bitters. Add some cucumbers. Perhaps have some pomegranate juice with this meal. That would be wonderful. We need something more substantial. How about some beans and some rice? Now we have rice and beans, perfect protein. We have blood purifying pomegranate juice, alkalizing leafy greens as either cooked or as a salad. And now we have a wonderful meal to provide a detox. I'd like to give you one of my favorite tips for detox: sipping plain hot water. When you sip hot water, the hot water actually has a dilating effect. It actually provokes a detox response. It actually moves your lymphatic system. When I give my patients this, they say, "What? Can I have tea? Can I have, something in my hot water like lemon or honey?" I say, it's best when you're trying to detox to just have simply hot water. Hot water, when you boil it, it burns off and boils off all the mineral salts. So when you do that, what happens is the water becomes H2O, and that's what hydrates us. Hot H2O hydrates even better, cleanses even better. If you were going to wash your car, you would use hot water. When you sip hot water all day long as part of a detoxification program, the benefits are phenomenal. I promise you, at the end of the day, if you sip this all day long throughout the day, you'll be craving more hot water because your body will be loving the benefits of rehydration. Here's to your health.
Hi, this is Kate Stillman with YogaHealer.com, and I want to talk in the most simple way about the 6 tastes. So, the 6 tastes of Ayurveda can be easily categorized into what tastes are reducing, what tastes are building to the tissue of the body, like get bigger, get smaller, which tastes warm the body, which tastes cool the body. So, a quick review of the 6 tastes. We have the taste of sweet at the bottom here, and this accounts for most foods. So the tastes that are sweet: roots, fruits, meats, nuts, seeds, oils, grains. Lots of taste there. The next most taste that's probably most dominant in our diet would be salty, from added salt; sour, from sour foods or fermented foods; spices are the pungent taste; bitter taste is dark leafy greens or bitter herbs, bitter fruits; and astringent is raw vegetables, legumes, and turmeric, or bitter spices. So there we have just a brief overview of the 6 tastes: sweet, sour, salty, pungent, bitter, and astringent. Now, to understand how the tastes work in our body, most fundamentally, what I want to look at next is how these 2 triangles, you have the pink triangle and you have the green triangle. Now, the pink triangle is connecting sweet, sour, and salty tastes. Those 3 tastes are the building tastes of the body. So those 3 tastes are the tastes that are going to, build the most tissue of the body. So when we eat sweet, sour, and salty tastes, it signals to the body, okay, retain water, retain heaviness or earth element. And those 2 elements, earth element and water element, are just told to, like, okay, stick close, get heavy, get dense, put weight on. So it's very difficult if we have a diet that's even high in sweet fruit to lose weight for that reason, especially if we have a lot of kapha or heaviness in our constitution. The same reason that kaphas have a very hard time losing weight if there's salt in their diet, because it'll tell the colon, literally, like in the last part of digestion, it'll tell the colon, like, hold on, get heavy, hold on. So simply knowing about this can help us, choose the lighter taste if we want to get light. So the lightening tastes are the tastes that are going to tell the body to basically release water, release earth. And those tastes are the spices of pungent, are the scraping tastes of bitter, and the dehydrating tastes are the tastes that release hydration from the body, or stringent. So there we're looking mostly, bitters are going to be mostly dark leafy green vegetables. Astringents are going to be all sorts of vegetables, particularly the raw vegetables are much more astringent than the cooked root vegetables, which would be more of a sweet taste. All of the fresh green herbs like cilantro and parsley and in fresh basil, those are all going to have bitterness and astringent, and the spiciness will have a pungency. So adding plenty of spices to our food will help reduce our weight, as long as we're not eating too much sweet and salty and sour at the same time. Okay, now another way to categorize the taste very, very simply to understand what's going on is which tastes are going to create heat or a warming virya, and which tastes are going to create a cooling to the system, or a cooling virya, or how the food impacts the overall energetic of the body. So sour taste is going to be warming. It's a fermented, there's already like a breaking down, there's a heat to it. Pungent, all the spices, those are going to create more heat in the system. And salty taste has a secondary warming effect. So sour, salty, and pungent tastes all have a warming effect. One simple thing I like to tell yoga teachers and yoga students about, especially if you're taking class at night, is come home and have miso soup made out of a fermented miso with living bacteria, the kind you get at the health food store. Why? Because it's got salty and sour taste in it. So it's going to help the body get warm. It's going to make us feel grounded without being a heavy food to actually eat. And you could add something a little bit pungent to it. You could add, like, sometimes I'll mix in a little bit of Thai curry paste in my miso soup after I teach yoga at night. Okay, and the cooling taste, how do you create a cooling function in the body? Sweet taste, bitter taste, and astringent taste. Very important. So for people that tend to overheat, looking at how do we get rid of some of the some of the tastes that are heat aggravating, the sour, the salty, the pungent, and how do we increase the leafy greens, the raw vegetables, and even some sweet fruits that are going to be more on the cooling side, like particularly like cucumbers and watermelon. Those are particularly cooling to the body. So that's it. I just wanted to give you a very quick overview of when we have the 6 tastes in Ayurveda, how to look really quickly into what is going to warm the body and cool the body, what is going to build the body and reduce the body. Because simply having those pairs of opposites will very much impact how you can understand and make use of the 6 tastes in your life. Okay, so if you want more information on this kind of training, go pick up the free training at yogahealer.com. You'll see this little orange-red box at the bottom, Ayurveda for Yoga Peeps, which is my specialty, is helping people that do yoga understand and make useful the information of Ayurveda. Okay, thank you so much.
Hi, this is Yoga Illumined Ayurveda, and I'm Carrie Meets Sinkin. We're back in the kitchen. Today we're going to unpack the 6 tastes, which can often be a little bit overwhelming if we're first learning about them. In Ayurveda, we have what's known as 6 tastes. We know what they are already: sweet, sour, salty, pungent, bitter, and astringent. But what you may not know is they all have different qualities to them. They're all associated with different elements, so earth, air, fire, water, and ether, and that they're good for different body types. The more we can understand how we use spices, the more we can understand how we understand foods on many, many different levels. The first taste I want to talk about is probably the easiest to understand. It's the sweet taste. Now that doesn't mean sugar, that doesn't mean candy, don't get the wrong idea. It means a taste that's going to be heavy, cooling, and oily on our system, and it's going to be grounding. That means for those kapha types, when there's a lot of earth, it's going to be too building, but it's going to be great to help pacify vata and pitta. Some great examples: rice. Rice is an excellent grain that has a very sweet taste to it. Other good ones are quinoa, which also has a little bit of astringent to it, as well as buckwheat, which is going to be a little bit more astringent and pungent. Talk about what that means in a second. Another great just sweet grain is oatmeal. And when we use that and we spice it well, it's a really good nourishing grain for our system. If we are going to incorporate any sweet into our life, we need to. It's good, it's great, but let's do it the right way. Let's think about really good whole sweeteners. Maple syrup, honey, these are great examples. The next taste we'll talk about is sour. You might be surprised to learn that the sour taste also has a little bit of earthiness to it. It's actually associated with the fire and earth elements. It's very balancing for vata and pitta, but again a little bit aggravating for kapha. So what are some examples? Fruit is probably the biggest one. Limes, lemons, citrus fruits all have a sourness to them. And a little surprising, the sour taste also brings a little bit of heaviness and oiliness into the system. The next one, salty. One we all understand pretty well. Salt's a really obvious example. Another one is seaweed. Salty brings again, a heaviness, a juiciness to the system. It's associated with the fire and water elements, and it's going to be balancing for vata and moderately for pitta, but again we want to be careful because it does have a heating quality to it. Another taste, another big one, pungent. This is our spicy stuff. This is stuff that's going to help break up stagnation in the system, really good kindler for our digestive fire, but very aggravating when we have too much heat already in the system. So that means it's really good for that earthy kapha body type. What are some examples? Paprika, mustard seed, ginger are all really good, spicy, pungent tastes. When we think about other foods, what is pungent? Just means really spicy food. Hot peppers, chili, cayenne are some really simple examples. What's our fourth taste? Might have a little bit harder time with these last two. It's actually bitter. Bitter is associated with two elements. It provides a cool, light dryness to the system, and it's associated more with air and ether. That means it's very good for helping dry things out and cooling things down in our body. What are some examples of the bitter taste? Turmeric is a big one. Dandelion greens, aloe, fenugreek are some other simple examples. And this last taste is a little bit harder. It's astringent. Astringent has an airy, ethery quality to it. Some examples include an unripe banana and a pomegranate. The astringent taste is pacifying for kapha, as well as to some extent for pitta. There you have it, these 6 tastes. Again, they all have different qualities to them. They're associated with different elements in our system. And in every meal, according to Ayurveda, we actually want to bring in all 6 tastes. It's just understanding when we want to emphasize more in our life. Good luck and have fun experimenting. Thanks.